Mic check 1 2 1 2. Hear me?
Welcome back, people.
Welcome back.
We are
Getting ready to cut.
exactly what she said. We're getting ready to make some oxtails, and while we make some oxtails,
I get to play sous chef.
we're gonna kind of catch you up because it's been about 2-3 months since we recorded a video.
Yeah, it's probably about 2 months. I don't think it's been 3.
Yeah,
Hasn't been that long.
it's
Today is the 20th of June. I have to think about it for a minute. Y'all, time is flying.
20th of June.
How big you want these?
Not too big.
That's good.
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm the oxtail person.
He is, because I'm not using this pressure cooker. I'm not even going to pretend like I am, so I'm happy to play sous chef today.
It's only 2 of us, so I didn't do too much, but I think this came out to be just over 3 pounds. Oxtails is expensive. I clean my oxtails with beer.
Oh, right here.
Oh,
Right here in front of the bag.
thank you, ma'am.
Where I said it was.
So you can do this with whatever you want to do.
And what's the purpose behind why you do that?
To clean it, oxtail has a lot of fat on it, and I try to cut most of it off. So I didn't get all of it off, and it's also very greasy, and it like produces a lot of that stuff on its own. So to help with that, I use beer. This is not something that I taught myself. This is something that a lady, I believe she's Colombian, told me it's a trick she uses. So I've been doing it ever since she told me that. Pressure cooker is 100% my mama, who taught me how to use one and get the oxtail to cook a little faster.
Nice and tender that way too.
So I pressure it to clean it, and then after it's clean, dump the water out, take the oxtail out, do a quick rinse, get everything back in there, and start the process of actual cooking. So Naeem is cutting up all the onions and peppers that we need for this dish.
I am just cutting up the bell peppers. I'm not cutting up the onions. I hate onions, y'all.
If you've been following along, you know that we were trying to sell a home in Texas. My truck had been broken into several times at the apartment that we were at. We weren't happy with the area we were at. And we're also at the same time trying to get settled into Nashville. And so...
Fun fact, we've been here almost a year.
Yes.
Hard to believe. Next month makes a year. Or a year for me, at least.
Yes, a year for her. I think I'm September?
Yeah, you moved in September.
September will be a year for me. But we packed up the apartment after the last break into my vehicle when I said, something got to change. We got to do something. I got tired of it. We started documenting things that was happening in the apartment complex, and we...
And thankfully, I had been documenting things since we had very first moved because, I don't know if we talked about this on the video, but even within the first month of me being here, our air conditioner went out. So it's just been, thing after thing that was taking place. So I had been keeping track of that, videos, emails, pictures, all of that. For people who know me, y'all know I'm thorough, so worked in our favor.
Yeah. We compiled all that, put together a little campaign, if you will, to be able to break our lease and get out. And it ended up working in our favor. We were able to get out
without penalty.
And start looking. So, a little town called Hendersonville, which is on the Kentucky side of Nashville. A good commute to work for me.
Yeah, it extended his commute by about another 25 minutes. And it's further for me as well, but from that side of it, you know, it extended my commute by 15 additional minutes. But for him, it really does add almost another 30 minutes without traffic. What you looking for? Teoko is going to be in that drawer to the far left.
So, yeah, I got a 45-minute commute to work in the mornings. In the afternoons, I'm anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. It's not a lot of miles. I think I am 28, 29 miles away from home. It's just Nashville traffic is a lot like Houston traffic, where you're going to be in there for a minute. But we found a really nice place, and we are really, really, really happy here. Minus the drive, there is no complaints. And that's not even really a complaint, because when we were in Texas, we drove. We lived in Fulshire and worked in Houston, and that traffic in Fulshire is a very up and coming area. So it's
really only one way in and one way out.
Exactly.
Especially where we live.
Exactly. So that was a commute to go in. So we're used to it. So far since we've been here, it's been 3 months?
Not quite. We moved in April.
Okay, so moved in April. And it's mid-June, so y'all do the math on that.
It's been 2 months.
And
I already used to go grocery shopping out here anyway, so it actually works out better because now I'm 5 minutes from the grocery store that I used to go to.
Yeah,
so it actually worked out better anyway.
That's good. And there's a lake.
Yeah, we're close to the water.
Very, very, very close to the water there, where I've went a couple times with Naima. Naima's went more than I have. Our nieces came to visit.
Came and stayed with us for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. They got jobs working at Nay's school, and they were camp counselors. And
Kids fell in love with them.
Yeah, I think they did a great job with that. James and Siobhan came to visit.
Imani came and visited.
Imani came to visit. Imani is Nay's sister. James is my brother-in-law. Siobhan is my sister. They came to bring down my niece. And
Liam also came and visited. Can't forget about Liam.
They came and brought them up, and it was great getting to see them and spend some time there. Hopefully,
and to explore a little bit in Nashville together.
Yeah, hopefully we can get them back on a longer stay. Do more things. Get out a little bit more.
All in one container? You guys break them down?
Yeah, you can put it all in that little plate bowl thing.
That's a bowl, baby.
We're going to use the majority of this. What I don't use, I'm putting in a little bag you put back in the refrigerator for the next.
I'll put it in the freezer.
Next opportunity that I make something that I needed. But,
nothing's going to waste around here.
Right. I don't know why I get one of every color, not just one of each. I don't know if it really gives you a different flavor. I don't have the answer to that.
It does.
I've just been really trying to get the house together, which took longer than it usually takes.
By a couple of weeks, but to be fair, I went out of town the weekend that we moved, and then you went out of town the next week, so we had to move quicker than we intended on it. So with that being said, it took about a month to get set up. But.
And we're both in new, career-wise, we're both in new positions that we haven't been in for a year.
Yeah.
So we're still kind of getting the lay of the land there. And for me, things come up, and every season brings its own different set of challenges. So, you just kind of got to roll with life as it happens. So it's been slow. Normally, anybody who knows us and been around us knows that when we move
48 hours.
Yeah, we're going to have that sucker set up and ready to go.
And we did have the primary rooms. I did the kitchen at least that first couple of days because that's just something for me. I got to be able to function in the kitchen, and we got our bedroom set up, so that was good. Yeah. And then, of course, everything else just kind of came as it came, and he put stuff on the walls, and Made it
The
what it
TV's
is.
gonna get mounted
Yeah, those
right
definitely went
away.
up. Y'all know I could have cared less when them TVs went up. Just put my decor up and put my curtains up, but got all of our curtains now, so that's good.
Yeah, we still got little stuff to get, like dining table chairs.
Yeah. Found a dining table, but it didn't. We found one that I liked without chairs. So now my amazing husband has been patient and looking for chairs, and we haven't found what I wanted just yet. So when we do, we'll have some. We do have bar stools, which helps because we've got. Y'all can see there's two. There's a high up bar, and then there's one on the island. So we do have space to sit, which is good.
Trying to get these onions chopped, and so I'm focusing so I don't take a finger off.
Well, I can talk a little bit about when the girls were in town. So, like we said, our nieces got to spend 2 weeks with us, two of our nieces, Keegan and Kaylin. So, my sister's daughter, and then Siobhan and James's daughter got to stay, and they worked summer camp. And unfortunately, it rained both weekends that they were here, so we didn't get to go kayaking like we thought we were going to. So, a little disappointed with that. But we got to do, of course, we took them down Broadway like during the day so they could see what that looked like, and went to 12 South, and they got to do some college walking. We went to the African American Music Museum, which was super cool. They really liked that. At some point, I'll post a little highlight or reel or something like that to kind of showcase some of the stuff we did. Went on some walks. What else did the girls get to do?
She'll post.
What else did the girls get to do? I'm trying to think, kind of movie night. We did a little bit of everything. They got to do a little bit of shopping, so that was cool and fun for them. So, got to do some stuff over those 2 weeks. It was a good time. I'm glad they got to come up. Really glad they got to go see some of the college campuses and stuff like that. That was pretty fun.
One thing I wanted to tell y'all about is, well, I'm going to start this off with a question. We've been in Nashville almost a year, not a full year yet, but almost a year. Sweetheart, how do you like it?
I'll be honest with y'all. There are pros and cons to Nashville. I think I like the idea of the fact that we are closer to a side of the country that we really hadn't visited much in our camper. So that's been pretty cool. Like, we've gotten to go, since we moved here, we've gone to Missouri, and we've gone to South Carolina and places in Georgia, and, stuff like that, which I don't necessarily know that we would have picked those places. We would have at some point, but I don't know if we would have picked those places as quickly had we have not been here. I've liked the people that I've met. I've met some super nice folks since I've been here. I think everybody has their perception of certain states of which you're going to get. And so, of course, I had a lot of feedback from folks of which, how accepting Nashville was or how it wasn't. Everyone feels different ways. I've had no issues here, aside from, of course, his car getting broken into as many times as it did.
I think it's just a truck thing down here. They're glued to it.
And it is. And the police officers out here said that. Like, the trucks are what they break into, but there's certain types of vehicles that they actually steal. So that's been a huge change for me. I'm not used to that. Coming from Houston, it's not like we don't have crime and people don't break in. But at least where we live, that wasn't a concern, I think my biggest drawback, I'll be perfectly honest, I think the housing market out here is ridiculous. I don't feel like what people are coming out here and paying for these houses is worth it. I've seen much better houses other places, specifically back home. And that's the rental market as well as the housing market. So I don't agree with that. And, no offense to anybody that's from Nashville or from Tennessee, food out here is kind of mid. So that's just my opinion, and that's kind of where I'm at with things right now. What do you think? Are you done with this?
I don't mind Nashville. I think Nashville is expensive. I think that it's a great place, and like Naima said, I think it's amazing that we get to experience this side of the country, as because this place we would have ultimately ended up going. I just don't think we would have ended up going this fast, like she said. spring break in South
Did we go
Carolina.
somewhere else during Thanksgiving before Branson? Or did I make that up?
We went from Arkansas.
There we go.
Anyway, that's like the first video
Right.
we did. We
I
were
just couldn't remember, y'all. A
them.
lot of time has been moving, like I said.
Yeah. So that's where we were.
And if you haven't watched those, go back and watch them.
Go back, watch them. Hopefully,
leave us a comment.
We're not boring you to death. But if you're interested, go back, watch them, and definitely leave a comment and let us know what you think. But Nashville is a cool place. It's just expensive. One thing that I want to share that I absolutely do not like about Nashville is that one day we were in the apartment still sleeping in the middle of the night. And I've seen movies where these sirens go off. And it's just like makes these woo noises. And it's super loud. And everybody can hear it. And I've only seen that in the movies. Didn't know this was a real thing. In Texas, we don't. If we do have it, I've never heard it. Jumped us out to sleep. I mean, I jumped up in full panic, like, what is this? What is going on? What is happening? And it freaked me out. It really did. Thought like this was the apocalypse. I thought, the world is going through some stuff. I run to the patio. And I opened up the door just to see what is happening. But I opened up the door, walked outside, and the wind just swung the door open. And I had to fight to get that door back closed.
Top things that you don't do when you hear a sound like that is open the door and walk close to what's happening, which was potentially a tornado.
Tornadoes hitting everywhere, freaking us out. And we're on the third floor of this apartment complex. Fourth floor of this apartment complex. And this is the noise we're hearing. So that was fun. Spent majority of the night in the closet. Well, Naima spent majority of the night in the closet.
Yeah,
because
let come on tell you where he was.
Because I got them and Remy in the closet, and we sat there for a minute, and it was like, this is going to last 15 minutes. So I was like, okay, because my phone's going off and we're getting these alerts now. And I'm like, okay, 15 minutes, next 15 minutes. Then at the end of that 15 minutes, it said next 30 minutes. So I sat there, another 15 minute pass, it said for the next hour. And I was like, no.
Now, mind you, it was already, I think it was already midnight at this point.
No, it was after midnight.
When the siren first went off, I think it was barely after midnight. But from there, this went on past 3 a.m. And for those of y'all who know what I do, I also oversee our communications on campus. So that means that I am up and I'm communicating and I'm trying to figure out what communication is going out to parents. So there was no going back to sleep for me. I was completely locked in because that's part of my job to make sure that people are notified. But yeah, it was not a great experience. Again, we understand hurricanes. We know how to prepare for hurricanes. We've been in them.
And let me say, I will take a hurricane over this noise and a tornado any day because I can deal with the water.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different. It's definitely different. So.
Yeah. So that messed me up for a little bit. After that, I said, no, I'm not sitting in this closet for another hour. Exhibit A.
And to be clear, us being in the closet really wasn't going to do anything. I don't know if y'all caught the fact that KB mentioned we are on the 4th floor. So truly, all of us should have been downstairs on the 1st floor in the hallway because had the tornado have swept over our building, this video wouldn't have taken place. Let's just be clear. So either way it goes, it wasn't a smart idea where I was sitting, but it made me feel better because I was not getting fully dressed and taking Remy and myself downstairs at 2 o'clock in the morning. So
I went and laid down and got into bed. This
window.
This one came in the room saying, so you're just going to give up? So So you're just gonna go to sleep and you're not gonna worry about what's happening? You're gonna leave me in the closet, and the whole time in my mind I'm just going, sweetheart, we're on the 4th floor. If a tornado comes and takes the roof off this thing, we're gone. I don't care what closet we're in.
But the point was, I felt like if we're in the closet thugging it out, you need to be in there with us. Like it felt like I was being left to die by myself, and I didn't appreciate it. And you know what? Remy didn't appreciate it either. We were both upset.
My thought process was, I'm going to sleep. If I get carried away, let it be in my sleep. I'm just going to go to sleep. So that experience was terrible, and that terrified me. And in that moment, I was like, what am I doing in Tennessee? Why am I here?
So long, Nashville, Tennessee.
100%. So we get through that. And let me also say this. As we're trying to think about compiling stuff to move, this was kind of like the icing on the cake too. You know, it was kind of like, nah, I'm not doing this in this situation.
No.
Okay.
That wasn't the icing on the cake.
So she can say that she wants to, but she also told me to get her out of that situation too.
The icing on the cake for me was the last time your car got broken into. I was done.
Well, the car got broken into before this. But that happened, and that was kind of like the icing on the cake, I guess, for me, not for her. But finally this place got moving. As we are moving here, I mean, I have U-Haul packed up. I've got a co-worker helping me and the wife, and we're moving this because I'm frugal. I'm not paying for movers.
And we worked. I mean, we worked and moved. It's not like we took off. So no. I think that contributed to it as well.
So we were tired. And so I just said, you know what? I'm going to get some moves to move last bit of stuff.
But the bulk of it.
Well, the bulk of it, we did move and we did get it in. Me, her, I, and one of my coworkers. Shout out to you, sir, because total godsend. But we get here, we're moving and we get everything in. We had just bought a couple pieces of our sectional to extend, and I'm on my way to Rusago because I don't want them to deliver it because I don't, frugal. I got a truck. I have a capable body. Let's go pick this stuff up and let's get it in the house.
And we had boarded Remy just for that day because I felt bad for him to just be stuck around by himself. So he went to go play and all of that.
Do you know, I was on my way to Rusago, driving down, what is that, Gallatin?
Sure.
And, oh my gosh.
Which meant that if he was driving down Gallatin, I was here by myself.
Yes.
Just want to throw that out there.
That siren came on again. And I'm on the road, and I look up, and I see dark clouds off in the distance going towards Kentucky. Can I tell you that the amount of ground that this weather, whatever system, whatever you want to call it, the amount of ground this thing covered in 30 seconds freaked me out. I was sitting in the car, I was driving, and I looked off in the distance. I literally got to the second red light, and it had like, boom. And I could see where it started to spin, but it wasn't on the ground. It was trying to find, I guess, a piece of ground to touch. So I said, do I keep going? Do I turn around? Do I stop? I'm looking at it again, and it is coming like, it is like I'm going here, and it's like it is doing this super fast. So I hit a U-turn. And this might not be true. It might have been going the opposite way from the beginning. But in my opinion, it looked like it was doing this. So then I turned around and started coming this way, and then it looked like it was doing this. It was coming behind me as I turned around to head back towards the house. Got to a light. The wind is blowing so hard, the truck is rocking. The light, stoplight, red, yellow, green lights.
We all know what a stoplight is.
Falls and swings. So I hit the brakes. The guy behind me pulls out to the side of me and speeds around me and keeps going. Rain is falling. Wind is going crazy. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing roofs of these commercial buildings come off. And they have like these metal roofs. They don't have shingles, but they have metal roofs, and they're coming off. And it's getting, all of a sudden, it gets super like dark. And I can't, it was like somebody took construction paper and just laid it over every piece of window that I had in the truck. And I could not see anything, so I stopped in the middle of the road. I know there's a ditch beside me on the side of the road, so I stopped. And I mean, I started to pray because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is how I go. And I pick up the phone, no lie, to call my wife to say, hey, I love you. I don't know what's about to happen. But as she answered the phone, said hello, no service. It just gone. A piece of daylight just kind of opens up in the truck, and I see, ironically enough, the Rooster Go store that we stopped at to pick the furniture, because I'm going to the warehouse to pick this up. So I had to go past the store. I see the store, so I drive my truck through that ditch, come out the other side, through some bushes, pull up to the front of that store, get out the truck, and I'm beating on the door. And everybody in that store is looking at me like, brother, you're on your own.
Mind you, Rooms to Go is, if anyone has ever seen a Rooms to Go, it's wall-to-wall glass. So obviously they're not standing at the front of the store.
Correct. And they're hesitant
down in the back.
They're hesitant to run towards this glass. So I get it. But the manager there runs to the door. She opens it. I mean, I help her get that door shut. She locks it. And we run to the back, and I'm in the back in full panic mode, looking at everybody else like. And I asked the question. I said, "Is this normal? Like, is this what happens?"
Now, my experience, because I'm here by myself.
Yeah. It passes me eventually, and then it gets to where the house is.
I'm here by myself. I'm unpacking some stuff in the kitchen, and I had just gotten a text from my boss and one of my coworkers who. Everyone's watching the radars. We knew rain was coming, and we knew that there were going to be some potential tornado situations, but didn't really know what areas, what have you. So I had just looked at my text messages from both of them, and they said, hey, everything okay in your area? Because everybody knew I was moving that weekend. And I said, yeah, we're good. Not a drop of rain yet. I kid y'all not. In the time it took for me to look at that text message, I'm turned around, texting. I made the text message, set my phone down. I turned back around, and it is white outside. The wind was blowing so hard and so heavy, and the rain came in so quick, I could not see anything outside. Couldn't see my vehicle. My vehicle's blue. Couldn't see that outside. Couldn't see the trees. And I'm sitting here, and I'm like, okay, just kidding. I'm not okay. So now I'm trying to call KB because I'm like, if it looks like that outside and it's raining this hard, where is he? So I call him. Of course, it doesn't go through. The call keeps dropping. Then I'm sitting here. I'm standing in the kitchen, and there's a lot of windows in here, but we have a pantry that's internal on the first floor. And I'm sitting here, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then all of a sudden, the rain picks up even more, and it starts to, basically it starts to shake in here, just slightly. And I dove into the pantry, because I'm like, if this is how I'm going to go, I'm at least going to have a snack, because there was at least a few things in the pantry. Not much, because again, we just moved in, but I at least had some chips in there. Finally get in touch with him, and y'all, I'm in full tears. And for anybody who knows me, y'all know I don't cry unless I'm upset, angry. But I was in full tears, and I told him, I was like, we're gonna die. I'm like, why do we live here? I'm like,
I got to the house.
Well, wait, let me finish telling my story. You know, KB loves to cut me off. And essentially, I told him, I said, I apologize for moving you here because I drove us right into the heart of the storm, clearly out here in Tennessee. Now you can interrupt.
I got to the house, and she was like, babe, everything's already in boxes. If you say let's go back to Texas, we're going. And so that made me laugh because she does not break, let me tell you that. And that was just a serious moment for both of us. But hadn't experienced anything like that since.
Well, and I will tell y'all, you know, I don't mean to try to make light of it because several of my coworkers have been through some of these really bad tornadoes out here. And so I know it's a serious situation, but as someone who's never been in it and hearing other people's perspective of it, like, it's not until you're in that situation where you don't know what's happening that you can truly understand and empathize with the people who have gone through this, because it's crazy. It really does. It changes so quickly. And I know everyone says, well, in hurricanes or in floods, situations change quick. Not like in tornado situations. It can go from being perfectly normal to all of a sudden you're in a dangerous situation in a few minutes, a few seconds, honestly. So I will never take that lightly at all.
All right, those of y'all who don't know pressure cookers, again,
mess around and put your eye out if you're not paying attention. Jen's
sake, I'm over talking. This top little thing here, that little steam is coming out of, if that sucker comes loose, it's a bad day for everybody, because it's like coming out of a barrel. It's gonna be ridiculous. So it's been through the process. It's been pressuring for a minute with the beer, so it's ready to come out and strain. So I'm gonna take this spoon and I'm going to hold it under here and just let it rest there. A trick Mom taught me to just get the pressure out so that I can open it and get everything out of there. I think it's been pressuring about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's been doing that with the beer for about 20 minutes. Just, again, and remember, this is just to get it clean. There's a little red knob here that I'm tapping right now, but it's super hot. But once, if Naima doesn't stand in the way of the pot, once it's depressurized, the red dot on here is going to drop. I think every pressure cooker is different. It looks different for everybody. But for me, that's the red knob that I'm looking at to see drop.
And this is a real, I mean, it's nothing fancy. It's a real basic pressure cooker, but it does what we need it to do. And
they get better.
Yeah.
But this is a small one. Again, most of the times it's just cooking for Naima and I, so this accommodates what we need it to accommodate.
Yep.
But anyway, while I'm waiting on that to drop, that was our experience getting here. So that was a tough one for us. It got a little touch and go there for a minute, but you know, God willing, we're still here, and we're still in Nashville. So there you go. We got 2 weeks coming up of just off. A week of that, I think we're just gonna chill a little bit. We're kind of being forced to chill a little bit because, you know, paying a mortgage, paying rent.
Recuperating from having vehicles broken into.
And all that
paying
stuff.
Paying to move quicker than we needed to.
Need funds are looking a little tight, so we need to breathe a little bit. Oh, there we go. Red dot fell, so I'm going to take my spoon off. I'm going to twist it open, and it should come right off. I cannot stress enough. You do not want to be in a situation where you take this off before it is depressurized, because it won't be pretty for anybody. So I'm going to get rid of...
You want a strainer?
Yeah, this dirty water. Got rid of the dirty water. Going to run a little cold water on it. Just to get another rinse of that on there. Again, this is my method. I'm not telling you this is the best way to do it. It's just my method. And I'm going to strain that too. I'm just evaluating my meat, making sure enough of the fat has been cut off on my oxtails. All right, I like to leave a little bit on there because
the fat is where the flavor is. That's my motto.
All right, from that point there, I know y'all gonna say, well, what is it like? Hopefully that helps. All right, from that point there, I'm gonna add some cooking wine. There's nothing special about this. I just grab whatever cooking wine I can find.
I will say though, he does always use white cooking wine.
Yeah, it is white.
It does. The brand doesn't matter, but he does always use the white cooking wine.
So what I try to do is use one of those, and then I'm gonna go back and get those Sakis.
And I'm going to continue to clean as we go because that's me.
And I'm gonna add that too. Now, if you don't want to use those Sakis, that is okay. I do suggest it to clean, but to actually cook with it now, if you don't want to use it, you can use a second bottle of white wine. Some people use just normal broth.
Like if you ever do anything like a brine, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
You can do it that same way for people who, you know, need non-alcoholic type stuff. You can do it that way.
You can do it that way. So I did one of the white cooking wine. I did a bottle of Dos Equis. I'm also going to do about a half a bottle more because I'm looking at the pot and I'm evaluating kind of where we are, and I want to be able to just cover
the meat.
From there, I'm going to put a little red, a little green, a little orange. Again, I think they give a different flavor.
You would be correct.
So that's the whole purpose of that. I don't think there's such thing as too much of this. I really don't.
You never have too much bell pepper.
So I'm going to put that, and then I'm going to go with onions. I chopped up a whole onion, but I'm going to probably put about a little over half in there. If you don't like onions, I don't know what to tell you. That's what I did. So what I'm hoping is, what I'm looking at is this beginning to, I don't know if you can see that or not, but what I'm hoping is this pressures cook, everything starts to, what's the word, where it gets translude a little bit in there, and it, you know, the meat takes in some of that flavor. All right. These are my methods, what we got there. So this is going to be about another 20 minutes, and then I'm going to come back after 20 minutes, and this is actually 20 minutes of pressuring, meaning I see it spinning, and I see the smoke coming out the top, which means it's good and pressured. My knob is raised, so I'm going to let it do its thing for about 20 minutes. Now, I have pretty good thick pieces, so if you have small, skinnier pieces, 20 minutes might just destroy whatever you got. So you got to also evaluate how thick a piece you did. We went to an actual meat market to get these, so the pieces are a little thicker. If you go to like the store and you get them in a pack, I know like for us, sometimes we got them at H-E-B in Texas, and some were thin, some were thick. You know, you just kind of evaluate where you at for that. But we're gonna let that sit there for about 20 minutes, do its thing, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna add a little bit more stuff to it, and hopefully be eaten. But right now, what I need to do is get some rice going.
Easy peasy.
Now,
Y'all, I apologize in advance if you hear a lot of static from me continuously washing and cleaning as we go, but when I cook, that's just how I cook. I have to clean as I go, so y'all hear a lot of water, just, you know, ignore it, I guess.
anybody that make oxtails, I'm always down to try something new. You got a comment, you got a suggestion, put it in the comments. Let me know. Teach me something. This is just what I know. So, always open to learn something new. Also, we're going to add some carrots in there. So I get these little baby carrots in a bag. Some people like to get fresh carrots and cut them up. That's my way of cheating. And I also like to put potato in anything that I stew. It makes, for me, I like thick gravy. So it thickens up the gravy and it gives you a little bit of carbs in there as well. I grew up in a house with a lot of people. So that's kind of cheating the system, how you make it stretch a little bit.
Yep.
For our seasonings that we are going to use, we're going to use some Goya seasonal. these are my seasonings. If you, whatever you use it to your own taste palette. But
and just know that we pretty much season everything. Like these are staples for most of our stuff because it just goes good with everything.
Obey.
Salt and pepper mix.
Salt, pepper mix. Garlic powder.
And adobo.
Adobo. Now, normally I use onion powder, but
We don't have any.
Number one, we don't have any, and number two, I put so many actual onions in there that I think we're good. We're gonna again pressure it and get all that flavor in the meat from that.
You also use a little bit of sesame.
Oh yes, this is another trick that Colombian lady told me, along with the beer, is to use. She just said it. Sassoon. So
they sell it in a box. They sell it in a jar.
Yeah.
In the box, it comes in those little perfect size packets, and for us, one packet is good.
One packet is
with
good.
all the other ingredients.
With
that
all
we
the
use,
ingredients
so.
to that. So there you go. That's
you can get it in a jar if you're an economy person. You can get it in a jar.
Yeah. The first few times I made it, I didn't use that. I didn't think it would be that big a difference, but she said it, so I tried it, and it makes a difference. It does.
It provides a good flavor for sure.
It makes a difference. So I like it, and I've tried to use it with some other things too, and it's pretty decent. So for anybody wondering, Remy is doing well. If you can see him in the corner over there somewhere.
Probably not. He's rolling to a ball.
He has a nice big open space in front of him.
Yeah.
In front of the house where he can go
run and
frolic.
I knew you were going to say that. And the lightning bugs, which that is also one of my favorite things since being out here in Tennessee, are the lightning bugs. And call me basic or easily impressed, but did not remember seeing lightning bugs really at all.
So what she's talking about is, if you ever seen Princess and the Frog, is the little bug that goes, "Don't make me like my butt."
Don't y'all love when I'm right in the middle of talking about this because we all leave a comment with how often that happens throughout the course of our videos. Yes, I am talking about the little character from Princess and the Frog.
That insect species. Whatever. Alright, I'm going to turn the stove off, and I'm going to start to put my spoon just to release the pressure. I can smell the peppers, I can smell the onions, doing its thing. Steam's still coming out, but it's light. Don't let that fool you. Wait for that that gauge to drop.
For me, what, work
And the last thing I'm adding that I forgot to mention to you guys is a little bit of browning, just because I like
Not as much as thicker than brown.
my stew to be brown. So when I put this top back on, right now I'm just letting it get to a boil a little bit just to make sure, because I'm gonna give my little gravy, I guess, a little taste just to make sure I'm not missing anything flavor-wise. And then again, I added some brown into it, so make sure that it's that consistency, that color that I want.
Smaller, but they are good. If made right. You know what you didn't get? Usually he likes to put beef tips in it as well, but we did not get any of those this time around.
Good.
Good? Got a little spice to it?
A little more spice than I wanted, but
Oh, that means it's perfect for me.
but it's not like overkill. I just don't like my oxtails to be too.
The spicier, the better. And you know what? If I was back home and I was with my in-laws, I'd have some pepper sauce to go with it. Feel free to send some up to Tennessee at any time if you're watching it.
So we're back to pressuring, letting it do its thing. This time we're gonna give it about 15 minutes. Chef KB. It's real good. Try it if you haven't done it before.